nothing but blue. Hey guys, Glockster42. Alright, start of the video. Blue screen. I had a comment from Paul Runer Gislason. Sorry dude if I'm destroying your name. On my Finished Lion diorama video. And he asked me, how about a tutorial making dioramas? So here it is guys, a diorama tutorial. I don't know how long it's going to be. Might be multiple parts, might be over the course of into next year. But we are going to start on a tutorial on building a diorama. Alright guys, building dioramas. Where do you start? Well, you need to start with an idea. You need to start with something that you enjoy building. Don't do stuff just because somebody else is doing it and you don't like it. Do what you want to do and do what you enjoy. That's the most important thing. Now, having said that, there's a few rules that we do need to live by. Unless you just really don't give a rat's ass, but that's okay. First of all, rules to live by. Context. What I mean by context is, don't put a panther in North Africa in 41 and do a diorama with the Africa Corps and a panther or a King Tiger II. Don't put a M47 or an M48 in Korea. Don't do stuff like that. Make sure you're at least historically accurate. If you're putting in a late model Sherman like that, like we've seen in Fury, into the D-Day landings, sorry, somebody's going to call you on it. And that's kind of stuff you need to know. So you do need to know some things, and you should have a little bit of reference material. Do you need to go and buy reference material? Pretty much, probably not. There's a lot of reference material on the internet. Go watch YouTube. We got so many great model builders and armor builders and guys on YouTube. You can get tons of inspiration from them. Go watch some YouTube videos on Stalingrad, on the fall, on the Berlin siege and the consequential the Soviet destruction of Berlin in April. Tons of ideas, you know. You can buy great books like this from AK Interactive. Give you some great ideas. I just love these old Concord books. Just all kinds of chock full of great pictures and ideas and technical data at a reasonable price. So first of all, get your idea. Figure out what you want to do, where you want to set it. Get your models built. Do the best you can. There is no right, there is no wrong. You know, maybe if you want to build a purple Sherman, maybe, but probably not. Anyway, so there are some rules to follow, but other than that, you know, I've been doing a lot of what if, you know, paper Panzer 46. You know, you've got a lot more open tablet then. You can do a lot more funky stuff when you're outside the realm of historically accurate models. But we're going to talk today about a historically accurate diorama set in World War II. So, get your inspiration, get your ideas, and get your stuff built. Now we've got our stuff built, where do we go from here? Okay, so the diorama that we're going to do the tutorial on was actually inspired by the movie Fury. I really wanted to like that. I really wanted to like that movie. I really, really wanted to like that movie. For whatever reason, the story, the characters just didn't work for me. I don't know why, but it just didn't. Technically, it was wonderful. It was a great looking film, but let's not get into that. So, I looked at my stash. Well, I don't really have any M4E38s. I didn't really want to buy another one. I had this M4 sitting on there, so okay, we're going to build a Sherman. And I haven't built a lot of Shermans. I've done a couple. I've done the Israeli Shermans that I did on YouTube, and I don't do a lot of Shermans. I like Shermans. This was a nice little kit. So, there was my first thing. Okay, I'm going to build a Sherman. What am I going to do with it? Oh boy, got the Sherman built. I'm scratching my head. And the kit came with some just fantastic little figures. I just love the figures. It came with a tank commander and 3 infantry figures. So we've got some infantry figures. One guy's a bar man, BAR, Browning automatic rifle. A couple guys running. And a couple guys, one guy shooting. So I'm just going to get this, clear this one guy off. Oh, that's unfortunate that happened. So anyway, we got one guy running with a BAR, one guy shooting his Grand, and one guy holding his Grand. Okay, hey, that's a neat little diorama. Ah, well, yeah, okay, I can work with that. I can work with that. But where are we gonna go with that? Where are we gonna go with this? So I started looking around my stash. What am I gonna do with this? What am I gonna do with this cool little diorama in the process? So I'm looking around. I had an old Tamiya Tiger tank that I didn't like. Didn't like the painting on it at all. So what do you do when you have something that you don't like? Well, you either leave it on the shelf or you redo it. So I said, fuck it, I'll redo it. So I did. Boom, there it is. Pull that up a bit. And yeah, it looks okay. I kind of like it. It's hand painted, hard edge. Mid-war Tiger 2, done up with late war color schemes. You know, maybe went back to the depot for a engine rebuild and they repainted it. So that was my idea. We're going to combine these two models into a diorama. So what am I going to use? So I'm thinking, okay, how am I going to combine these two pieces of armor in a diorama? So I'm looking around and lo and behold, I remembered that I had this vintage Verlinden ruined farmhouse. Alright, yeah, okay, I can put the farmhouse like that. I can put the Sherman up here. Alright, where am I going to put the Tiger though? Where am I going to put the Tiger? I want to keep a small footprint. I want to I don't want to have a huge diorama. You know what, let's tuck this Tiger right in like that so it's hiding in there. Alright, so let's adjust this a bit there. Okay, so what I'm getting at, guys, next thing you need to do is, okay, what am I going to put in my diorama and get the composition right? Ah, yeah, okay, I'm thinking, yeah, I like that. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, where am I going to put my figures? Okay, that's the next thing. Figure composition. Where are we going to put our figures? Okay. Now remember, it's really important that you tell a story. Because if you're not telling a story, all you've got is a couple random vehicles and a building. Okay, what does that tell me? Okay, it tells me that a Sherman is going next to a ruined building and there's a knocked out Tiger there. Okay, next question is like, that's kind of boring. How do we know the Tiger's knocked out? The treads look to be fine. Now, next question. Would a Sherman come rolling up next to a Tiger like that without popping a few rounds into it? No, probably not. So the next thing we'd have to do is add some battle damage to this. There's no damn way a Sherman's going to get this close to a Tiger without potting off a few rounds or sending some infantry out to check it out. But I've already kind of committed my infantry to being right with the tank, remember? Okay, well, this is my first idea. We're going to put the infantry running next to the tank, and then we're going to put this guy shooting here. Okay, yeah, all right, hey, that's good, yeah, okay. Okay, but we've got this big open space here and a Tiger. That doesn't really work. Okay, all right, hey, I got one of these to me, guys. We're going to add this German soldier running away. Yeah, that's awesome. He's going to be running off camera. Silly bastard doesn't want to get shot. He keeps falling down. Alright, so we're going to line up this guy right onto him. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. We're missing something else. Okay, look at her. Okay, you know what? I need to bump this up. I need to make this a little bit more realistic. Okay, his buddy wasn't quite so lucky. He got winged. Okay, yeah, that looks good. But I'm still getting back to the fact that I've got a Tiger sitting here. Apparently, you know, it appears to be totally undamaged, without any shot or bullet fragments or anything to do. And this Sherman just rolled right up on it. No, not going to happen. Not if it's an experienced crew. Not going to happen. Well, do I want to put some bullet holes in that tiger? Not really, no. Boy, that sure makes a big footprint. You know, wow, that's a big footprint. Shit, no, I don't like that. All right, you know what? Time to change some composition details. Tiger's gone. Boom. Tiger's gone. We're just going to pull this building out a bit. We're going to get this guy back in here where the tiger was. We'll readjust our shooter just like that, and we'll put this guy over here. He was wounded when the tank first rolled up. Oh, we've got a smaller footprint. It's much more visually. Whew, boom. We can just put some farm equipment in here, or maybe something as simple as just some battle litter and a little bit in here, and suddenly your eyes are drawn right into the primary focus of this diorama. Becomes this rifleman and this guy running away. You have a focus. There's your focus of your diorama. Your eyes automatically go to this guy, they follow over to here, and then you take the whole thing in. That's the purpose of building a diorama, guys. It's to have one central point of interest. And that happens to be this rifleman and this running away SS guy. Everything else is just filler. Everything else just builds the picture up in your mind of what's going on. It's very clear. The Sherman and their infantry rolled up in this farmhouse, cleared out a nest of Germans. One's shot, one's running away. Rifleman's going to take care of business, and I'm going to have the commanders just basically ignoring what's going on, looking out into the middle distance with a pair of binoculars. You're hardly going to see him. He's just going to be kind of an afterthought. Now, comes back to keep your footprint small. Let me re-say that. Keep your footprint small. And I was also doing a little bit more research. There were 11 of these tigers that were, there weren't many king tigers fighting the Americans after the Battle of the Bulge. This is March, April 45. This is not Battle of the Bulge time, so this tiger may not have necessarily been in Aachen or one of the German villages where this is put in the spring of 45. This would be more, this big old king tiger here would more than likely be somewhere on the Eastern Front. Now, was it visually impactful? Yeah, probably. You give a size of how massive it was and what a huge tank it was, but to me, suddenly, a very impactful diorama. I could just, I could redo this. I could turn it around like that. To me, an impactful diorama gets lost. We're like, we don't know where to look. Are we looking at this big ass, brightly camouflaged tiger? Our focus has gone from rifleman and fleeing German to where do I look first? I don't know where my eyes should look. My eyes are going all over. But suddenly you take this big old tiger out, you tighten up the footprint nice and tight. It becomes so visually impactful. Bang, there's your diorama right there, guys. So put some thought when you're doing your compositions and your dioramas. Very important. Composition. Remember, think of the rule of thirds for photography. You don't want stuff dead center. See, here's my center line right about here. So we're going to have our rule of thirds. Our eye is looking away. Our eye is looking out and off. This is all support. The main diorama is this rifleman and this fleeing German. We took away originally the tiger was going to be probably the main source. That's what we're going to look at first. But then you take away all your figures, then you need to add a backstory. Why hasn't this tiger been shot to hell? Why hasn't it been rocketed from typhoons or hurricanes? Why is it still in one piece? Why doesn't it have some shot on it? Why is the track still in one piece? Why did this Sherman just roll right up on it? At this time of the year, at this point in time of the war, I'm showing a fairly experienced crew from the amount of stowage and baggage they have on it. These are not just a bunch of green Repple Depple replacement boys. This is an experienced crew that would know better, that would put some shots into that tiger, which I just didn't want to do. Quite honestly, the camouflage took me so damn long, I didn't want to bugger it up. So, planning a diorama, guys. Put some thought into what you're doing. It doesn't matter how good you are, but the composition, a composition will take a mediocre model and mediocre figures and elevate it up to the next level. So guys, composition and setup and putting some thought and planning into your diorama, first part of the tutorial on diorama making. Later, guys.